would sprint car.
We look like we're really far away. Shark Tails.
Oh, Gary just
And
did
it's
some
dark.
Shark
Why
Tales.
is it dark?
Yeah, why is it dark?
Shouldn't be dark.
We'll turn the Studio 54 lights on. Oh, that's a little better. Oh, that's a lot.
Just don't look
A
at
little better. Okay, that's the final night of
Trophy Cup
Trophy Cup
28.
28. And it went pretty good.
Yeah. I put it in the show.
Barely.
The end. Come on, Troy.
I'll be there in a moment. Hold
We
on.
have a special guest
Yeah, we had a
tonight.
seat open, but somebody's shy. He's camera shy. He only likes being behind a microphone.
So, Sean was 21st in points going in tonight. If you're 20th in points, you make the main event and you're on the pole. If you do good in your heat, you gain a couple spots. If you don't do good in your
Jensen, I was
heat,
just talking about you.
What's up?
Congrats on your trophy
Oh,
cup,
Thank
dude.
you. Hey, did I not redeem myself?
Hell of a turnaround from last
Did
year,
you see all
bro.
the fuel that I put on the ground out there?
Come here.
No.
Come sit down,
no.
Jim,
No.
there's some
No,
jello
it's a
shots. We want to hear
No,
about
we're
your
good.
trophy
No.
cup, dude.
Life is good.
It was a good
Hey, that was my
weekend.
last
You
race.
could be infamous.
last race for the year or forever.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I don't know about forever.
Oh.
Paul's trying to talk me into life, wants to go do some.
We're talking to 5J, the Jensen construction car that Caleb Henry drove
I'm
tonight.
not construction.
And,
I'm like a destruction.
Are you saying you might sell out? Give us the.
Right?
Okay, you might sell it. So this might have been the 5J's last hurrah. What place did you get tonight? Fourth, fifth,
Fourth.
fourth.
Overall points, though, is
Last night was
well.
pretty depressing. But,
What did you get in points overall?
eighth, I believe.
Eighth in points. So okay,
Congrats,
that's out of
dude.
88
Yeah, I know, it
cars.
was a good night. Last
Good
night was
weekend.
even cooler. Last night was a good night too, and just
Yeah.
ended. He hit the tire.
Yes, he did.
You tires.
Yes, he
Those
did.
are.
I took a knee at the tire.
Yeah.
But you know what? New
Hey.
tires should not be on racetracks. I'm sorry.
Amen.
Yes.
If it was a berm, he would have been perfect.
It would have been.
You guys would have been high point
My
guys.
theory is at racetracks is they have equipment, they have dirt, and they have water trucks. They have the three combinations you need to make a berm. So why we need U tires out there is beyond me.
Well, I am at least glad they took the K rails out of the inside. That's what they had last year, and it's just traps everybody in.
Yeah,
There's no
it
escape.
gives you
from
no
those.
escape route. Exactly.
Right.
So, but back to you. You were the odd man out of the main event. The
Yeah.
first guy to not make the main.
Right.
So no big deal. You'll start in the pole to B and just get out of the B.
Nope.
Not a trophy cup.
They invert 6. It goes back to your points, but then they'll invert the top 6 in points for the B.
So
Don't know
you
why.
just missed the A, and now you're sixth in the B.
So I'm out of a transfer spot.
I don't know. I mean, we talk about lining up or lineups and formats and with this and that, and I don't really give a shit most of the time. But the invert 6 in the B main at the Trophy Cup has never made a hell of a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't think there's a
all,
necessity
like-
for it. Everybody in the B is a baller, so I mean,
That's the thing. Like I know the whole idea of all of Trophy Cup is put the fast guys in the back. We want to see them pass cars, but in the B, like they're all kind of ballers, like you said, and like inverting just 6 of them seems kind of like
there shouldn't
monotonous.
be an invert,
It seems
is my
pointless.
opinion.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So, oh well. So yeah, started 6, but then kind of went backwards. I thought I got a decent start.
You did get a good start. Yes. And it didn't quite work.
Right.
Yeah, it was almost a good start.
Yeah, it was almost a good start, and then a lot of fast guys behind me. They come blowing by, so I think I fell back to 8th.
Yeah.
9th? My wife said 9th. She's a scorer.
She would know. She's a scorekeeper. So she's probably watching you and not scoring the rest of the race, not doing a good job. Every race you're in, she does a bad job scoring. Scoring's probably all screwed up.
Lots of love there.
Speaking of, Andy we were texting like during the B because when
During the B, you're working.
Yeah,
should
how are
be
you texting me
people.
during the B? You're not even doing your job right.
it was
The
a red,
computer does
right?
the work.
I know. I pushed the score button, so it was on autopilot,
Wow.
which people
I don't know.
still keep talking about, which is funny. It was a red, right? There was a red.
I don't remember.
Caution came out. I don't know. Something happened, and you lost that lead because you had
Oh,
passed.
you had just got in the transfer spot, yeah.
And so
Oh,
I
yes.
said something not nice on the text to him, like a bad word. I think I just said "damn it," and he goes, "No, he's good." I'm like, "He lost that spot. It goes back," and he goes, "He should pull into the infield and argue the scoring."
Yeah, he should stop and discuss. So it was funny on that original start. You almost had Andreotti for would have been fourth,
Right.
and it just didn't quite happen. And then you guys come off of turn 4, and he's in second, and you're in sixth. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, what the hell just happened? And I thought, okay, we're kind of
Yeah.
screwed now.
Yeah, I thought I was kind of stuck in the middle, but I thought I was okay. But then guys were getting a run on me on the inside, so yeah, fell back and it was tough. But somebody crashed out, then had to restart, and I was 8th, and then I went from 8th. Maybe I was 7th. Went from 7th to 5th on
You
one
had a couple
restart.
good
Yeah,
restarts.
like I had a good restart, passed a couple guys, and then yeah, got exciting towards the end. It was a close one, but barely snuck it in.
You just kept at it. You made the right move at the right time. You went to the bottom, went to the top. Everything you did just worked out. Sometimes things just work out, and it did.
Yeah.
And you railed his ass coming out of turn 4. Crowd went crazy. They love themselves with Shark down here in the Central Valley. And yeah, we got to run around like chickens with our heads cut off and prep your car. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So just so you know, he's in Brent Bjork's car, the yellow 7B, and it's Brad Bumgarner. And that's it. Nobody else helping.
Right.
Don's there helping, but he had surgery, and
Yeah,
not a hell of a lot of help.
Yeah,
He
Brad.
does what he can.
Yeah.
But I told Brad, I'm pretty impressed because, you know, I got like 7, 8 guys on my team, and there's half the time we can't even get the staging on time. So I don't know how Brad does it all by himself. I mean, I'll be sitting in the car and they're yelling, Heat 3, get up here. And I'm like,
True though.
what the hell have we been doing all this time? I mean, I got half the damn pits working on my car, and we're still not the staging. So we're gonna have to reevaluate how we do things because I liked how smooth things went in your pit this weekend.
Do you know why? One person who's arguing with anybody.
Well, we're not.
Did you put fuel in? Did you put fuel in? I don't know. Did you
Brad
take
just-
Not my job.
Right.
Not my job.
Everything was done. I just don't
Not my job.
understand it, but it must be capable because we did it this weekend. Because
Yeah.
you didn't really do much. I just scraped some mud, and Brad just kind of did everything and had everything ready.
Way to go, Biff Dog.
Yeah, and now he's driving back
Home
to
to
Chico.
Chico.
4.5 hours back to Chico.
Oh, it's got to be more than 4.5
Yeah,
hours.
so it was
5?
How long is it, Troy?
Probably 5:20 in the hauler.
Yeah, so a good 5.5 hours. So racing was exciting. You did pretty good in the feature, so you got lapped. Why didn't they throw the yellow right before he got lapped?
Because I didn't spin out like
He didn't spin out like
other
the other
crafty
guy that-
veteran.
Was there any talk of that on the radio? Like, oh boy, that was an interesting spin.
No, because we were watching fuel laps, or we're watching laps because we were going to throw red at 35. So that was on 32, but since we threw the red, it goes back to 31. But, so we're like, okay, cool. So everyone kind of just like, whatever, that yellow. And it was like,
'Cause we
okay, cool.
needed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, here's our red. Let's just pull him in. So then he gets in the crash with Kyle, and he goes off, and I actually called him out in the lineup because they're like, oh, he's going to fix it. There's not much left. I'd written his name down on my paper because I keep track of cautions. I saw 2 83s there. The first 83 yellow, and then the next 83 on that one. Didn't think anything of it. And like they're getting ready, and Belton actually gets on the radio. He's all, isn't that his second one? And Stephanie and I are like, that is his second one. And they go, no, we stopped because you guys threw the yellow
Yeah,
for fuel.
for
I was like,
him.
no, we threw the yellow for you. And then we threw red. He tried. I mean, you got to try, right?
So he was going to try
You
to
gotta
come
try.
back on.
Why not?
Kevin Rudine actually came over to the car and talked to Sean.
Yeah, because the leader lapped me 2 different times, and I crossed him back over, and I
unlapped
said,
yourself.
nope.
And he was behind you, like half a straightaway behind you. He basically was just pacing you
Yeah.
for a good 5 laps, and I'm just kept going, come on,
Did
yellow,
he yell at you?
yellow.
No, he said, hey, thanks for running my driver clean. I said,
Oh.
hey, I would not do anything dirty to you. Like, I'm trying to stay somewhat competitive in the race because it's all kind of based on points. So,
Yeah, you don't
It's-
unlap yourself with a sprint car race.
yeah,
other than
I
Trophy
wouldn't.
Cup.
I would
Right.
not have done that in any other circumstance other than this was Trophy Cup, and it's all combined points, and you're kind of racing with other people for points. So
And I'm going to assume you knew the caution was coming soon. So it's
So-
just like if you could sneak off a couple more laps.
I was railing 3 and 4, and I kind of glanced down and I saw a blue car. I'm like, damn it! But I looked at the board and it said lap 23. I'm like, I can hold them off for 2 more laps. And then 4 laps went by, and I'm like, where the hell's my yellow? And then I finally got lapped. But yeah, tried to cross them over a couple times, which is not a good thing to do as a lapper to the leader. But
Yeah, when you're getting lapped in a sprint car, you're kind of holding yourself in. The leader pretty much has any right. I don't want to say every right, but there's a get the fuck out of the way factor when you're
Absolutely.
getting lapped. So, and then when you get you got a lapper unlapping himself on you,
yeah.
the leader can tend to get a little testy.
I feel like it was obviously several years ago, but I think like Stevie Smith was in the Finley Farms car, and I think he was like high point guy, but he got lapped like early. But I'm like, he's still in it for points, like, and I think at that time they might have been keeping lappers in the lineup instead of taking them to the back. But I remember thinking, I'm all, he's still in this race. Like, if he can get his lap back and then get to the tail end of the field, like. Because he was fast enough, obviously, because he was one of the high point guys that year. But
Well, there's no slouches that make it into that A main, so everybody's fast. So, and he had all the lap cars, and then second place. Like he had
second
a
place
straightaway
close to you.
ahead of second, and so I was afraid.
We're leaving.
no,
Peace out.
Bye,
man.
guys.
Bye,
Jello
guys.
shots.
When
There's
the
a
sun
chance.
rises, when the sun rises, that one's swinging.
And
Hey,
this will
that's what I'm
be
gonna do
your
for
last ever trip
Love
home
you,
from
Paul.
Tulare.
Aw, never
This is
coming to
goodbye
Tulare
for now.
again. All
For
right, just
now.
for now.
Hey, we'll see you guys. in
Congrats
spring.
again,
Let's get
Jim.
to the matches.
Seriously, great
We're
weekend.
discussing doing lizard tails with Jimmy.
Oh, we're gonna be on like at 3 in the morning when nobody's up. We're gonna be like,
love it.
they
Lizard
fucked the whole thing up.
So wrong.
Yeah, they
I
everything
might
they
get
did was
Facebook
bullshit.
so I could
I'm
watch
gonna
that.
redo the whole thing. Good night.
Travel safe.
Bye.
Great job, guys. That's great. Troy, please come over here.
We're gonna exit too. I'm tired.
Okay, Troy Henning's saying
I'm gonna
no, he
watch
doesn't
you
want
guys
to be guest
over
We
there.
got a
host.
seat
Uh,
open and everything for him. What a jerk.
I've talked enough.
You kind of missed out because you're busy racing. I was able to. I watched you as much as possible,
Not
but
as funny as you keep talking.
shit was getting real up front.
Yeah.
And Tony Gomes in the 7C car.
I heard he was selling some T-shirts.
We've seen
tonight.
some gnarly stuff here at Trophy Cup and Tulare, not just Trophy Cup, but the stupid shit seems to go on at Trophy Cup after 3 nights. We've seen people run up on the wall. We saw Jacinto completely flip his car over here in turn 4 one year and keep going. But Tony Gomes took it to a next level tonight.
Yeah.
I've never seen, he was like kind of slowing his entry into 3, driving up on the wall, and then he'd just drive around the wall. I mean, like Goggles Paisano, there's an episode with the Flintstones where he drives around on the wall, and that's what he was doing. And he did it like 10, 15 laps until the car said no more of this. And it finally, I don't know, it must have broken an arm or something or stopped because the whole suspension was just on the ground.
Yeah.
But he was reeling in the 26 car.
Wow.
It was crazy. You'll have to. I'm sure the highlights will be on Facebook. So will you show him the
Yep.
highlights?
Yeah,
'Cause
show me, please.
It was intense.
Cool.
You stayed out there, which is hard to do a
I
lap
know,
down.
like, yeah. We went a lap down, then they finally had the red, and I kind of asked Brad, I said, hey, should we pull the plug? Like, we're not really in the race anymore. He's on, no. Like, car owner Don, like, he wants to see his car out here. Like, you finish this deal. And so we ended up getting a few spots.
Hey, you
at the end.
passed 3 or 4 more.
So it worked out, but and we were good. Like we were like passing
Yeah.
cars. Like I was, yeah. We
You
were fast.
unlapped yourself like a couple times,
I know.
theoretically.
Yeah, the leader.
So yes, like the guy who won the race,
Yep.
you passed him.
Bye, friends.
It's turned into the Lisa Becker show.
Yeah,
It's
it's-
supposed to
let's-
be the
Informative.
Troy show, you jerk.
Oh no, my voice is done. See ya. Much love.
I don't
Hey,
need any
great,
more of your
great
opinions
weekend,
about
Troy. Announcing with Bobby Gerald. You guys rock every year
Yeah,
at the
they're,
Trophy
they're,
Cup.
they're kind of the best duo when it comes
Yeah.
to that, right?
So I don't know. You didn't come over and support me in the dunk tank.
Bye,
I got
Jesus.
So it's funny, you said you kind of saw Tim Katie in there. Like, I was actually kind of wondering if you were even out of bed yet, and I was walking around and I kind of
Larry.
looked over. I saw somebody. Did he have like what? Check like
Or
American
shorts or something,
flag,
yeah.
something like that. And I'm all, oh, that's probably Tim. I'm all, I should go. No, I don't want to go over there. I think that'd make me do it.
Yeah,
So like
that's
I came
kinda
back
what
here, and
happened.
that's funny that you
Well,
were there.
they were struggling. Country Builders is the one who put on the dunk tank for charity.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Find your favorite driver you hate and pay money, and you throw balls at them and dunk them. So,
Strong.
when the majority of
Don't do this.
the entries
Don't.
are 12 years old, none of them want to do anything like that. They're more interested in playing Nintendo. So there was very few drivers that would fess up to doing it.
Yeah.
I told them I didn't want to do it because I wasn't a driver. I'm like, well, I'm not really a driver. I mean, you need Trophy Cup drivers, but he said, if you need somebody, I'll do it. So I think Dom did it, TK did it, Shane Golobic did it, I think Caleb Montgomery did it. And then I went over there and I had a hood on and I was kind of walking around like this and sunglasses and the nose and mustache, but they saw me and I got to get in there and get my ass dunked. And I was the last one in there, and I'm pretty sure one of the four in front of me probably peed in the damn water.
Was it a nice little hot tub in there after that?
It wasn't no James Brown hot tub. Let me tell you that. It was actually pretty cool because it wasn't that warm today. We need to have the dunk tank Thursday or Friday, and then of course the day of the dunk tank, the temperature cools down. So yeah. So I think they raised about $800 at the dunk tank thing, and then Country Builders tripled it, so it made it $2,400. Doubled his. What did we talk about? What was the math there?
Yeah.
He
So
just
how
made an
did
even
we explain
$2,500.
it?
Well, he said he was gonna match it, so
Okay.
that would have been $1,600 total.
Uh-huh.
But then he said I'll double the match.
Okay.
So he put in $1,600
So
plus
yeah.
the $800
Weldon
that they got.
Oldfield and the Country Builders, I think they've been helping out Trophy Cup since its inception at San Jose back in the day, 28 years ago or 29 years ago.
I told Troy when Kim came up there, I said, announce that they donated $5,000 to Make-A-Wish. Because what do you say on the microphone at that point, right? Like, no, I'm not giving Make-A-Wish $5,000. Just see what they
Force
say.
his hand. You know what, Weldon, I don't think we give a shit, honestly. Yeah, he's a high roller.
Speaking of, do you get to watch any of the auction stuff?
I did.
Did you watch any of that? Were you
I was
working on the
over
car?
here when I heard a painting
Okay.
went for $69,000.
So there was a painting of the '69 car, and they had Brent up. It was an awesome painting, and they took Brent up there and said
about
oh,
the
he'll
size of
autograph
that
it.
Little area right
It
there.
yeah, it was big. They said we'll get him to autograph it. So people are betting. I think it got up to $17,500.
Oh, it was up that high?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin Rudine's standing right next to Dave, and he says, "I will pay $69,000 for that
Yeah.
if Brent autographs
And,
it, right?"
and he's gave it
and
to
then
Brent,
he
right?
gave it to Brent. But Mike said he's giving that to Brent because Mike came back up in the booth, and I said, "Yeah, he said that." He goes, "Brent has no idea. He didn't hear any of that stuff, so he doesn't even know." He got up on yeah. So anyway, $69,000, and then the presented Make-A-Wish with $300,000.
Wow.
I saw
So cool.
Dave on the way out here, and he said they ended up with $320.
Wow,
Oh wow.
it's amazing. So that's like $2.9 million over the years that they've given to Make-A-Wish.
$3 million at a stupid little dirt track race. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's great.
It's pretty cool.
So yeah, in case you don't know, Trophy Cup's all about the
Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish Foundation. And then Trophy Cup, Dave and his wife put on a pretty fancy light show at their house.
We should probably go to that sometime.
It was pretty cool. Candace and I
You went?
Yeah, when we were in San Jose a couple years ago,
At the condo.
renovating that condo. It just happened to be in December, and so we plotted our night. We were down there, whatever, all weekend, and we're like, okay, Saturday night we got to go find Dave's house, and it's legit, man. They got, there's cars and there's cones and there's traffic control and there's a box that you drive through and you put money in, and it's all for Make-A-Wish. So all the Make-A-Wish stuff for this race starts in December.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I should talk to Dave what his fascination is with why he's latched on to Make-A-Wish, but he's been at it for a good 30 years now, raising money.
Yeah.
And now he's got some pretty good supporters behind it. And this race has just blossomed into what it is. It's one of the crown jewel races in the country as far as prestige and participation and purse. So pretty crazy. It all started as a one-day show at San Jose with a kind of a pipe dream idea of his to start everybody at the back. So,
Should put the transfer cars back up front again.
boy,
They used to do that.
yeah, the B main cars used to start up front.
He
wonder why
started
they-
up front
I wonder why they
before with
eliminated that. Wonder what the reasoning was.
Because I think it was a handful of years ago when the B main transfer started up front and like one lane track,
Didn't
either
fall
rubber went early or two hooked up. Regardless, I think Dave kind of said, "I'm tired of seeing the B main transfers take all my money." So it's only been a couple years. I feel like that they've put those in the backpack.
But a B main transfer at Trophy Cup is like not like we talked about. You were 21st in points, so you missed it by a point, maybe 2 points.
Yeah, you said two.
So, like you were there, and then you had to start 6th and race your way out of that.
But on the flip side, he at least he was the high point guy out of the B, so he did get to move up an entire row.
Yeah.
That
So
was cool.
it was funny because, and we were talking about that too, and I have all my spreadsheets from past years, and Stephanie was like, "Oh, we just tagged the back, right?" I'm all, I think everything is just by points, and so I went back to last year and we relined up transfer cars by points, and I was so glad we did that in the C, like the C cars to the B cars, because then in the A, I was like, okay, I'm not putting Sean a row
Yeah.
ahead of everybody just because it's Sean.
What do you think of the track this weekend? I had low hopes after Thursday, you know,
Right,
was
because
kinda
it
shitty
rubbered
and
up Thursday, and I don't really think it rubbered up today. Like,
I mean, it
guys
was
were
kind of trying, but it
Right.
didn't. I mean, after 50 laps, I mean, it's like okay. I mean, it's gonna maybe rubber up, but
yeah. And you guys were looking at my tire after the break, and it was kind of blistered on the outside.
yeah.
like,
And I think we probably should have done some tire prep, but we didn't have time. And I think that maybe some grooving or some siping would have maybe helped that. But yeah, that was just a straight off the shelf tire. Some cuts would have helped not blister.
but it didn't really hurt it after that. Like it
No.
almost stayed the
Yeah.
exact same, right?
So I gotta say the track after I think whatever they figured out last night's farming and tonight's farming, and I mean pretty good. I mean
I know.
it was still too slick for my liking, right? I mean everybody knows me, but I mean as a common sense, that was actually some pretty good track conditions. And
Yeah.
people were rolling the bottom,
Yeah,
rolling
had
the
your
top.
two lines
yeah, I
like
mean
you
it was
like, yeah.
double, 2-line racing, so. Not as much carnage as we're accustomed to at Trophy Cup. I think, and we got out of here early every night. All 3 nights were early nights
Yeah,
at Trophy
very
Cup.
But we say not as
shows.
much carnage. We started the weekend with 86 cars, and 75 got points tonight.
Okay.
So we lost 11.
That's kind of
That's
common.
pretty
I
average.
think people
Yeah,
say
yeah,
screw
yeah.
it. I want to say the year, and I'm going to throw this out there because I won, but the prelim night I won here, I want to say we didn't get done till 1:30.
What?
Yeah.
I
It
believe
was a long night.
I believe it.
I was in
Starting at 4?
heat 1, and I didn't race for like 4 hours. Yeah. we had to start the car back up and get temperature in it. I mean, it was
Oh my
late.
god.
Yeah, so when
What year
we
was
got
that?
done at like 10. That was in 09 is when I won a prelim night here. I mean, it's 11:30,
I know.
and we've been sitting out here bullshitting for an hour.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah,
I
I
think you guys rolled on the track at like 9:30.
I would say this was about as perfect as Trophy Cup as you could have. Other than I didn't win all 3 nights. That would be the perfectest.
That would be pretty cool.
You have to race.
You'd have to
You
bring
would-
a car though.
If you won all 3 nights, that would be the second perfectest. Perfectest.
All right, next year.
Maybe next year.
we'll perfect it.
All right. Okay, so in 7 days, we're going to both be in Marysville, California.
Yeah.
You're in Monhoff's 88. It's 88 now, right? Or
35 now.
Jesus Christ, why does he always change the number on me? I'll be in the 92.
I'm
Clear
just
as
hearing
day?
this right now.
What? You didn't know he was racing Saturday?
Nope.
Oh.
You know, I like your style. Don't even talk to her. I mean, you're setting standards I should try to do. Not talk to my wife. See how that works. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, that's a wrap on Trophy Cup 28. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Good
thank
job,
you for
Shane.
all your help. Yeah, congrats, Shane Golovic.
Who?
That's his third.
Shane Golovic won the Trophy Cup?
That's his third trophy cup.
Yeah.
Really? I never know he even won a Trophy Cup before.
In the 22 car.
No.
Both
Yep.
of them in the 22,
No,
right?
no. They're probably on the road, and they're one of the people that say that we help them get home. So, yeah, we're just giving you a hard time, Shane. Congratulations.
Stud.
28K.
Because he started right in front of me, like one spot in front of me, and there was a yellow on lap 1, and he was already 5 spots ahead of me. I'm like, how did he do that?
So you know, PJ has his number thing. Like 2 years ago, he pulled a pill on the way. He rode down with us. Pulled a
Okay.
pill, pulled one of my poker chips on the way down here, and it was number 24. And he goes, 24 is going to win the whole weekend, and Rico won that year. And so we always joked about the poker chips. Well, they do the Williams roofing, like they'll pull a pill or something before the A main. Whoever
Oh,
starts
yeah,
in that
yeah.
position gets an extra $1,000. Tonight, I think it was an extra $2,500. And they pulled 17 both nights, like last night and tonight.
All 3.
Well, oh, did they do it on?
Yeah,
So
all 3.
Thursday, Gary has this money. I'm supposed to give $100 to the person who pulls it, and $1,000 goes to it. I don't have anything for anyone to draw. What do I do? And I was like, well, I got poker chips. And he goes, okay, cool. I said, they're in the pit shack. Well, that's too far away.
And you have 120 of them.
I have 120 of them. So yesterday I sorted through them and just pulled out 1 through 24. Gave it to Gary, so he had people pulling. And so, yeah, so the computer
So let me
generated
ask-
one
so-
must have been 17.
Whoever just starts 17th just randomly gets extra money?
Yep.
So who was that?
If they win.
Oh, they have to win?
Oh, yes, if they win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if they win the race.
Okay, so that didn't happen.
But they pulled, yeah, so they pulled 17, which would have been Corey Day. If he won it, it would have been, I think,
Okay.
2,500 tonight.
I did
think
hear
they
Bobby
said.
talking about it being an omen that the 17 kept getting pulled.
Yeah.
So
And if Shane had won the race tonight because he was high point guy going in, he would have won 50,000 instead of 28. And then Tyler Courtney, I think, was in second in points. He would have got 40. And then I don't remember who was in third. And then Corey Day, I think, was in
Hurst.
fourth.
Hurst was in
was
third.
in third.
Oh,
He
right.
would have got 35. Corey Day would have
Okay.
got 30.
Shane's
if you win the
interesting
race
here.
and the points.
he like doesn't ever
Because
do
he
anything.
is the style, like he does not have the style that you would think would win Trophy Cup.
Yeah, but
he
he
doesn't
just-
hang it out on the
No,
fence
he
or
doesn't.
anything
He
like
just-
that. He just
figures it out and just kind of.
so good. Yeah.
Oh, look at
Look
Corey
at you
Day's
up
on the
there.
wall, and look at Gomes
Look
up
at
on
me
the wall,
pass him.
and wow, where'd Shane come from? Now he's in third, and he's going to win the Trophy
Dedicated
Cup.
to the bottom the whole
Yeah, I think the
night.
last restart he went from like 8th to 4th or
Hey
something.
man, there's
like,
something to be said about the least path of resistance,
Yeah.
and you know, to finish first you must finish. So
Confucius say.
yes. So yeah, man, 3 Trophy Cups. That's like that's baller status. That's like Kincaid status.
I
Yeah,
think has 3, and Brent's the only one with 4, right?
What about Hod? It seemed like he's won a handful of them.
3.
3.
Oh, so Ronnie Day
That's
walked by
great.
yesterday when I was doing check-in, and he's carrying like these like stadium seat pads or whatever. These big
Yeah,
old
on
long.
the backpack. He was walking
Yeah,
around like a freaking
yeah.
schoolboy. I saw.
I'm all, is that your seat? Are you gonna race tonight? And he's like, yeah. I said, if I can get you like starting front row of the A main tomorrow, I feel like everyone would be okay with that. Like if Ronnie Day comes back, I feel like we could do that. And then Corey comes behind him. I go, you're not racing. We're putting your dad in the car. He's like, all right. And Ronnie's like, I would do that if no one else is on the track with me. If I get
That's
to
how I
start the
feel
race
about
by myself.
Cycleland. I will go to Cycleland alone. I want to just take a few laps in one of Lowell's carts by myself. I don't want nobody running over me.
He'd like it.
I might.
But then
You'd
they
be a
said we
go-kart
should do an
kid then.
old timers race at Trophy Cup and have all the old timers come out.
Man, I've seen some old timers races turn into disasters. Those guys get out there. My dad tipped over my car in an old timers race one time. They just get going. They remember how to go fast. They just don't remember how to do it.
Don't remember how
And
fast
they
they're
crash into shit and tip over.
Well, your dad almost forgot to turn.
Well, that
the
was
last
in his
time
car.
He,
He,
was
did,
in
he
a
takes a
car.
little more easy in his car. That's like, his little pride and joy. But yeah, he got in my car a long time ago and tipped the damn thing over. I will give him credit. He was good to win the race.
Were
But-
you still racing that night? Like, was it something he jumped in?
Yes, it was a Civil War race, and they had an old timers race after the main event.
Oh,
so
after.
I had ran
You were
third in the Civil War race, which at that time, man, this was '97, so I was just starting to get kind of good. So a third place at a Civil War race was actually like a decent payday for us, and was like oh my God, we're rich. You know, we just made $800. And then my dad goes and tips over after I ran third in an old timers race that paid nothing. So yeah,
Way to go.
great
Frosty.
time, Dad.
Because what was the like, that's kind of the thing with dashes. Like, would you rather do a redraw or would you rather do a dash? Like, you're already in the show. You're gonna start here. Do
I'm
you
not
want
a-
to go out there and tear up your
I
car?
hate dashes.
Really?
No, I'm not a fan of those.
Okay.
No.
But both
I-
of you draw 7s and 8s.
I
So
would-
in that
Right, I
theory,
know.
don't you like the dash to like improve your
If they
spots?
want to put on a show, I wouldn't mind a 4-car dash for 2 or 3 laps just to put on
Oh.
an old traditional show.
Okay,
and we
but-
could go out there and just maybe mix it up and just put on a show. But
What about the
dashes,
shuffle?
Wasn't
No, I
there
think
a
shuffles are
4-car
stupid, too.
dash at Chico and like everyone junked their cars? Like, didn't Peter Murphy like junk his
Uh,
car?
Australian
Yes.
versus America.
Was it you
yes.
two?
No,
I
I
was in it.
You were in it.
I was. Well, I
Robbie
don't. I didn't
Whitchurch
make
was
it.
in there. Ian Madsen.
And
I
Peter
think it was
Murphy.
Madsen.
Ian
Madsen
Madsen.
crashed somebody's car, backed it into the wall.
Yeah, it was Lee Watson's car.
Yes.
And like junked it, done. Like,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like a
It was-
showcase.
It was supposed to be kind of a fake race. And
Yes.
And it was.
Yeah, it was, and I mean they were passing each other. I mean it was like they were like scripted, and then Ian backed it off to turn 4. Like, welcome to Chico, bud. You don't go up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that was kind of we screwed that one up.
And then now you're not running the A because
Yeah.
it was prior
Yeah.
to the show.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. I just remember like thinking after that, like maybe dashes aren't that great of an
You know,
idea.
the camera's been set for 3 people this whole time, and only 2 people have been on it. Did she go the right way the first try? She
I
does.
did
Good
it!
job. You had a 50-50 chance.
I know, I have to think about it.
All right, so
And now you're gonna stop.
I
after
think
I
that's
fix
about it. I don't have anything
Just
else
wanna
to
get
say about
face.
Trophy Cup.
I don't either.
Did we leave anything out? Did we forget to tell everybody they did good? Anybody else do something crazy at night? Not really. Good job, Shane. Impressive. Good job, Sean. That was impressive. Those last few laps where you were just like, you had to make shit happen, and you did. Broke
Thank
Jake Andriotti's heart. Oh well.
Sorry, Jake.
Oh, so I'm gonna call out Scott Woodhouse right now
Okay.
because he gave me a hug afterwards, so we're all friends. But I always make everybody come and check in, and people go, "I'm third in points. Of course I'm here." I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe something
You
happened.
gotta
like,
have protocol.
you have to come and check in. So I've got 2 drivers left. I got the 19 Colby Thornhill, and I got the 01 Mitchell Moles. Neither one of them checked in. That was the last 2 cars in my top 48. I already took DJ out because they said he wasn't coming. I knew that. So I got those 2 cars. And Scott comes in. He's like, yeah, they're both here. I'm like, okay. So I'm writing the heat races on the board. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm like halfway through 6, and someone goes, is that 19 car up there, Colby Thornhill? And I go, yeah. He's not racing tonight. I'm like, and it's fully inverted.
That's
so,
why you have protocol, Lisa.
And I was like, Scott. And he's like, his car's over there. They're like, yeah, did you look at it? It's in 500 pieces. I'm like, why? Because I don't remember, like, night to night who crashed the night
Yeah,
before or
It's not your
whatever.
job
I don't
to,
know.
actually.
Right.
So, and then I'm like, they're like, well, Mitchell's got to be here. I'm like, I am not, so I erased the whole board. I am not writing that back on. And you've got 20 people out there like, hey, I just took a picture. I'm like, yeah, I
Kenny
just.
Garcia. Lisa Garcia here.
LG.
So then I go, like, I'm not doing it. So then Scott called Larry Moles, and as he's on the phone with him, are you racing? I'm like, well, there's Mitchell. He's walking up right now. So then I redid it. But theoretically, it didn't change anything because Colby was, like, on the front row of Heat 6 or something. So, like, really, it
Still, I
didn't.
mean, you should. I mean,
I know.
I'm all down for having to check in because you need to know.
Yep. So that was my little.
Protocol. You got to have lines in the sand. You got to have protocol. Right, wrong, or different. So.
But I love the. Well, I didn't know I had to come pill draw. You can't hear anything in the back. I'm like, you didn't know you had to pill draw? Like, someone who's been to this race 25 times, yes, you did. Yes, you did know. Don't tell me it was because you couldn't hear.
So with the smaller amount of carnage, like, are we gonna get the 92 back?
We're going to do this again?
Yeah, because
Oh.
last year we talked about this, and
You said yes.
Andy
carnage.
said, you know, I think I could probably do this. Like, it wasn't
Look
so
at
bad.
Shane. Shane just won a trophy cup, and you said he's not running like all the other idiots out there.
Yeah, but you know what Shane somehow managed to do, and we joked about this when he he came in after the main event. He goes, I was on Shane's ass, and then 1 lap later, he was six spots ahead of me.
Yeah.
They said, yeah, we used to be able to do stuff like that too. Used to.
What is it you got to do? You don't know.
We don't know.
We got to go ask Shane.
We got the foot down, and we're going as fast as we can. We're just not passing anybody. Shane's doing the same thing, and he's passing people.
Crazy.
Yeah, it just
So 92.
92
Be
here next
for
year
29.
for sure. Maybe, probably not.
For sure, maybe. No.
We'll have to check the Outlaw schedule. See a Sweets at sweet. Did you see that?
Ooh, I
Super
already
non-committal.
broke.
First,
What happened?
First DNF since July of 2020.
No way.
I think
Right?
it's a 17-point lead now. Gravel ran 6,
could've
Brad
been
ran
here.
27.
With how many shows?
2
now?
races left.
So we could have been.
Yeah, Brad almost might as well have been here. He could have not ran Williams Grove and DNF there, and he could have ran here tonight and made 50K. That was our plan. We were going to win all 3 nights and take all the money. Instead, he went to Williams Grove.
That's all you have to do is just make that plan.
Yeah, that was our plan.
I mean, it is Brad Sweet.
It is
Win
Brad Sweet.
10 from 20th, and then you get all the money.
And the officials do watch this show because Dan Belton said, I want to talk about this because I wasn't in charge the night that with the Brad and Kyle race.
Let's talk about the score.
let's
You brought something up.
What'd I do?
They missed the jump tonight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nobody said anything, and I never talked to any of the officials afterwards, but nobody saw it.
Okay,
and I saw
let's
it.
say 14th and 15th go across the cone, kind of like this. Okay, maybe I can see that maybe they gave
come on,
up
there's
watching.
protocol.
Protocol.
You're right.
Everybody's
Mike,
got
You're
to check
right.
in.
You're absolutely right. But when 2nd and 3rd do this, hello, what are we looking at?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to watch the cone on the front stretch.
It's really funny though because yes, like 2nd and 3rd, but I have a computer in front of me, and that happened, and I'm like, wait, and I looked back at my computer, like, where were they on the lap before? That was a jump.
Absolutely, it was a jump.
No one said anything on the
And
radio, so nobody saw it.
I think there was almost going to have to be a shitstorm tonight, but it fixed itself because the car that did the jumping, he did what I thought he should do last night, which is when somebody gets way up there, you just fill the gap.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're allowed to do here.
Yeah.
But he did what I thought you should do. Now,
Yeah.
what I think you should do doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's legal. It doesn't mean it's by the rules. But, so long story short, the 7C passed the 5J before the cone.
Should have asked Jim.
Because
about
the 5J rode the wall. The
5J
26
went up.
was at the bottom.
Absolutely.
7C stayed in line with the 26.
How about
5J
the,
comes off of turn 4. 7C's in front of him. Cross the line completely in front of him.
So then 7C was tempting to win the race. So that would have been interesting if somehow let's say he wins the race, or B, let's say he just finished a second. Did they penalize him after the caution? Or, after the checker? That would have been a shit
They
storm.
wouldn't have because they didn't even bring
Nobody
it up, right?
even said anything on the radio, so nobody saw that.
So it would have.
What was the deal with the Allard yellow flag in the B main?
Okay,
Yeah.
That
I mean,
was-
it helped me out, but what happened?
so he climbed the wall, I think. I don't know. I didn't see
Yeah, either
what he
did I.
did. He did something,
Maybe no one.
and they thought he was going over or
Gonna
spinning
spin
out or
out.
something. I don't
Right.
know. So, but what's interesting is then, like, there's on the radio, it's like, well, he gets his spot back. That was our fault. Like, we threw the yellow thinking that he was going to stop. But I'm looking at where he crossed the line. Everybody crossed the line. Then the yellow came out, and he was second to last. So he's, like, fighting up in, like, 10th.
To get his spot
And I'm
back.
like, well, what spot is he getting back? And so I'm going back up, like, and I'm, Steph, you got him second to last, right? So, yeah, so that was an inadvertent yellow. But they didn't penalize him. They put him back in where he was when he like that's where I put him back is where he
The
was when he
blend-in
crossed the
rule.
Yeah,
line.
there's been a
So it's
couple
the-
of
yeah, the
those
blend-in
calls where-
I like the blend-in rule. I don't mind an accidental early yellow. I mean, I don't like them, but
But mine was easy because that's where he crossed the line the lap
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
there have been times where I think the officials do one of two things wrong. They say, "Oh, we screwed up. You get your spot back," which isn't right because he dicked up and he lost positions.
Yeah.
Or B, they say, "Oh, the caution was for you to the back," even though he kept going and he did kind of blend back into 9th place or 12th place, whatever it
Right.
may be.
Yeah.
So I think if you just take some common sense and be like, okay, we're going to blend you in, it might not be exactly where that driver belongs, but it's within realm of where he deserves to be.
Yeah, we don't have NASCAR loops all over
Yeah,
the
so
track.
I mean,
you
I
have to
think
go back to
there's
where
an
you
element
know.
of common sense that kind of comes into play. So I think Narc did that at Hanford. And I think maybe we talked about that on one of our shows.
I
So
think Day half spun.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they threw a yellow, but he
That was some stuff.
saved it and kept
So that's
pulled
something
back
too.
in.
That's what's hard too is you come to a race like this where there's not the 360 spin rule, but most of the series in California that we run, they have the 360 spin rule. So you've got the officials that score all those races where that's in their mind. Somebody spins, you throw a yellow.
Muscle memory.
So then you go to like a different show that doesn't have that rule. Like it is hard to.
Placerville killed me with that because SCCT had their procedures and double file restarts, and then Placerville had a different version of it. And it's like, we're the same people. Like, why? Like, I have to remember like what series I'm racing at whenever I line up for my restarts. Always didn't make any sense to me. But
Officials don't make any sense, anyways. Neither do
Yeah.
scorekeepers. But
all drivers are smarter.
I wouldn't
They
say
know
all
all.
of them are. These two are.
We talked about all the same numbers, all the sevens that all rhyme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
the
you
s-
tell, like, when I say those numbers that I'm like,
You did good, yeah.
enunciate? So they said at the beginning of the B main.
7B.
Is it the beginning of the B main or the? I think it was the beginning of the A main. 7B is motioning that his receiver is not working. Were you motioning your receiver wasn't
I couldn't
working, or
hear.
that your neck roll was off?
No, I
Hey, wait a minute. Back to your neck roll. Did you go so fast it blew off, or did you
Yes.
forget to put it on? Because I mean, I hang
No.
mine up here sometimes. Like, oh shit, I
my
forgot to put it on.
Velcro has been like kind of crapping out on me lately, but it flies off at this place.
Breakneck speeds, legit breakneck
Yeah.
speeds. I mean,
I was
the next
not-
if you would have gone that much faster, it might have blown your helmet
I
off.
was not clear as day. I was blurry today. My neck roll was
They
flying
called
off.
him the
not clear
blur
as day.
all night.
Did they?
long.
That's
Blur.
great.
Somebody said something about like who starts where. Yeah, that when they drew the 17 poker chip, they're like, who starts 17th? And I'm all the blur. Troy's like, it's the blur, Corey. Did. Poor
love
Corey,
it.
he's gonna hate us.
That'll be kind of funny if we could get that nickname to stick. Like eventually
Yeah.
he gets to NASCAR and they're still calling it the Blur, and
It's
we're gonna
pretty stuck.
that came right here
GT.
at Trophy Cup.
No,
with,
don't give GT any
with
credit.
drunk ass Gary
No,
Thomas.
Yes.
he doesn't remember.
Well, we don't have to give him. He doesn't have to remember to take credit. We'll take the credit, but I mean, it happened here. So, all right, talked enough.
Yeah.
It's not even that late. It's pretty quiet out. I don't know.
It's
Is everybody
quiet. We
tired?
talked about this last night. We were like, I
Like
feel
Gold
like
Cup-
the last night of Gold
Cup
Cup,
Saturday
Saturday night is
always
really
dead.
mellow.
Like I always thought, like, man, if we win Gold Cup, like the final night, like we're gonna burn the place down. But like everybody, it's dead afterwards. It's
I've already
only
seen
the
haulers
couple
leave it,
days
like
before.
motorhomes
You've
leave
had
it.
a,
Yeah.
you've had a better Gold Cup than I did, but my career Gold Cup was second.
You got a second.
And you know what we didn't do? We didn't party. We didn't have fun. We loaded up and went and ran the Outlaws at Antioch the next day. Woohoo! That was fun.
How'd you do that day?
Oh, I made the show, but we didn't finish.
Is that the night Golovic won?
No, I didn't run that show. I can't remember who won that.
Yeah,
the
that might have
night,
been the year before.
So we had to load up the 92, get home, and then I ran the FNF. FNF had a 410 at that time, and so we ran the Antioch with them. And there was a stabbing in the grandstands, and I had to pepper spray the guy down. And yeah, that was
Good old
that was
Antioch.
one of my fond memories of Antioch. So yeah, there. I could smell it like a skunk smell. I pulled off, and I was in the pits, and I could smell skunk. And then my dad comes into the pits after the races. I'm like, can you believe there's a skunk in Antioch? He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, well, it smelled like a skunk in the pits. Because that wasn't a skunk. They had to pepper spray this guy down because he stabbed this guy in the grandstands. I'm like, that was pepper spray? He goes, yeah. So yeah, fun times in Antioch, California at the World of Outlaws
I think
show.
I knew that story the very first time I ever scored there with SCCT. They're like, all right, well, yeah, just go. I'm all, like, someone needs to take me over. So like, I'm not going over there by myself. Like, did you bring like weapons with you? I don't know, weapons. What am I gonna bring with me?
Hey, good news for Stockton in 2 weeks. they got that serial killer, so we're all safe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
They think they got. I mean,
They don't know.
They could arrest numerous people for murders in Stockton, but hopefully this is the guy that's killing a lot of people. So, if you want to go to Stockton for the Hunt Magnetos Sprint Car Challenge Tour, NARC 410 finale
See,
in 2 weeks.
SVP.
We'll watch championship number 42, I think, and
Didn't
Yeah.
Shane say 7,000?
7,004. I
Well,
think.
who's he won? How many Trophy Cups has he won? 30?
3.
30? Jeez. Okay.
Yes,
That's it.
he's 130 of the 28th annual.
Hopefully, we got most of you fools home from Trophy Cup. If you didn't stay the night, that's it from Trophy Cup. And our next camping trip will be.
Are we gonna do Stockton, babe?
No, they don't even race 2 nights. I've been telling.
I know.
I literally have a car ready to go to,
Oh, 2 nights?
to Stockton on Friday night, and I just found out last night they're only running 1 night.
I thought you said they were doing it Friday night.
That's what you get for listening to me. I sniff lacquer all day long, so I mean, okay. So here's the deal: they've ran 2 nights ever
For
since.
years.
Yeah. So I just
Ever.
assumed. So we got this one motor that we're trying to get to run, and we figured, well, let's take it down to Stockton and run it on Friday. We'll still take our primary car on Saturday and run it. Yeah, I'm talking to Brent. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go down and run Friday night. Brent goes, they're only running Saturday, dude. I'm like, what? So I get on
Brent's
my
like,
phone.
you
I'm like,
young, dumb kid.
shit, they're only running 1 night. So yeah, I haven't even told my crew that they did all that work for nothing. So
So when
Hey,
is our
hey,
next camping
pit
trip?
crew, if you're watching, that car that you put the motor in, we're not taking it to Stockton. I don't know. I guess we could go camping at the
Hangtown 100.
Yeah.
and we can just talk about the midget bitches.
Yeah.
We got Shane on last time.
All
we
those
were
little
there.
prisses walking around in their white driving shoes like they're so goddamn cool.
So
Drives me
Colby's
crazy.
passing me. I'm walking into the pits tonight, and he passes me. He's like, "Hey, saw my first baseman and the bee," and I was like, "Yeah." And I'm walking by. I'm like, "What the hell did he just say?"
So my first baseman?
Yeah, you're the first baseman. Do you play first base every
Oh, yeah.
week at softball?
Yeah, that's my position.
So it took me like to the pits, like entry. I was like, "What is he talking about?"
Be
First
careful.
baseman.
Is that
I have
Darren?
a
Was that
fr-
Darren Gomez?
No, it was Colby.
Oh, Colby said that.
I have a friend that played rec league softball, and he played first base. And there was a close play, and he had the mid up, and there was kind of a little bit of this and a little of that. He got hit in the eye and lost his eye.
Yeah.
So be careful. If I was you, I would just have 2 mitts and hold them both over your face.
You got it.
And if you catch the ball, great. If you don't, oh well.
Thanks,
It's just
Mom.
fucking for fun.
I'll be safe.
Maybe wear glasses like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Are you allowed to wear 2 mitts?
Are you
Is
allowed?
there a rule
One
against
time I
that?
tried to.
Why not?
What?
It's not an advantage. Then
You're
how do
playing
you throw
first
it?
base. You don't have to throw. I say wear 2 mitts.
Sometimes you have to throw.
You know,
Not
like,
if you're first baseman. You just catch the damn ball.
I was playing infield a long time ago, and a ball kind of got hit over my head. I jumped up, and I couldn't quite reach it, so I threw my glove up to hit it. And you're not supposed to do that, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, they gave him an extra base or
Well,
something.
that ump's got no sense of humor. I would
No
think
sense of humor.
maybe if I was an ump and I saw somebody do that, I would count it as 2 outs. I mean, you got to give a guy props and be like, dude, that's badass. Hey, not only are you out, the guy on deck, he's not even batting now. He's out too. And if they want to argue, I'd be like, did you see what he just did?
I wish you umped my games, man.
Well, it goes back to my DOC. I'm gonna just shake
Bazooka.
up the starts.
Somebody brought up the bazooka today. Where's Andy's bazooka? Like,
Who do we want a bazooka?
They were just talking about it. Like,
Oh.
that would be a good thing for us to have.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if
Look
one
at me
car
caution.
got bazookaed, we'd never have intentional yells again. It's just gonna take one.
I should have created my own look at me yellow.
I
So
know
I
that
didn't
he
get
wouldn't have been a
lapped.
lap down.
I never even thought to tell you, hey, maybe consider this in case you get
Yeah.
almost lapped.
I feel so bad for lap cars because you guys are running up there and you're keeping pace with the leader, but then we have this caution and they're like, all right, well, if we don't get a caution by lap 35, so I'm watching laps tick off, and I was like, get him back, Sean, get him back, get
it
him
was
back,
really
come on, get
close.
him back. We're 2 laps away, get him back, and then Tim
Selzy didn't even
spins.
come back out.
No,
after
he
the
didn't come
red.
back in. But
So
then, like, you,
Bernal, he pulled off.
Yeah.
after
Yeah, he
one of
pulled
the
off
reds,
after.
too.
but like, you guys start racing, like, Colton Hardy, that was,
Yeah.
yeah. He passes like 4 cars. I'm all that poor kid. He's gonna have to go back. With the next caution, I'm gonna tell him to go back.
I think that happened to me last year. I was on the lead lap because we had to change the tire after the halfway point. But there was a couple of lappers in there, and they kept passing me every restart. And then they would go back. I'm like, yeah, get back there.
Hey, that's what happens when your wife's a scorekeeper. You just keep getting free positions. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're not going to camp at Stockton because that makes no sense to camp for a one-day show.
That actually works better for us. Allison has dance.
And so I guess we'll just talk shit at Hangtown 100,
Yeah, that'll be fun. Bring our snow gear and
weather permitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cold tonight. So
It is cold tonight.
we ran 3 races in the spring. It was cold. And then the 4th race, it was 100, and it's been 100 every single race until today, and now it's cold. So now it's
It was
cold
the wind.
season, and yeah, it did get windy during
It
the
was
rain,
the wind.
during the main. So yeah, the Hangtown 100, it can get cold, that's for sure. I mean, when is that? Mid-November?
Yeah, it's like the week before Thanksgiving.
Okay. So that's
We did.
it.
I went home. I got like you had your snowmobile stuff on, but I went home like
If
padded.
okay, Don Bjork gave me. I was official crew guy tonight. Bjork Constructions 7B.
you're so cool.
Let's see. Yeah, so if Hangtown rains out, this is the last show of 2022. So
You guys should do a Christmas special.
Christmas special?
Oh,
You know,
Little
year
car
in
out there.
review.
See.
does that mean
Well,
we have to camp together at
I know.
Christmas?
How's that work?
Christmas Eve?
We did the banquet
camping at the
special.
Just spending that.
That got him a ride, right?
Yeah, we got you all
One
kinds
night
of
in
rides.
Vegas.
How'd that work out?
That
for
worked
you?
out great.
How many cars this year?
I think 8.
Don't talk. We'll do that on our recap show.
Oh,
Okay.
the winter show, the Christmas show. What did we call
Christmas
it?
show.
Special.
Christmas special.
Christmas
Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody for raising $320,000
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
at the Trophy Cup. And that's it. Good job, Sean. You made the show. You ran 16th in the feature, 17th in points out of 88 original cars. I mean, yeah, pretty good.
I'll take it.
In a car that you haven't driven. So,
Yeah, thank you, Don Bjork.
yeah.
Thank you, Brad.
Good job, Biff Dog. Hopefully, I wonder where he's at. I think
What
he's-
time did he leave? Like probably like
Let's say he left at 11.
been at like a. No,
Oh,
probably
he's been on the road more than an hour.
yeah, like an hour and a half.
Let's hope
That ain't-
Let's hope he's to Turlock. Think he's to Merced?
That's
No.
pretty far.
Not quite.
Not quite.
All right. I wonder if he watches this. We should have told him to tune in. That'd help him get home at least an hour.
Right.
Okay, that's it. Turn it off, Lisa. We're dumb.
Let's go now.